So now that we're recording, you want to ask me again how my weekend was?
Oh yes, how was your weekend?
My week was so good. My weekend was even better. I celebrated by waking up at before 6 o'clock in the morning, both
Uh-huh. Very
yesterday
nice.
and today.
What?
I know, and just hanging out, having a great time. I'm on my work schedule even on the weekends. I can't escape. I can't.
You can't go back to sleep?
No. When
Oh
once
man.
I'm fully awake, I'm awake. That's it.
Have you
There's no
tried
stopping.
not face eye masks?
What is that?
You put an eye mask, it blocks out any
Oh,
light.
oh,
Any
oh, an
light
eye
at all, it
mask.
blocks it.
I thought
Eye
you were
mask.
I thought you were repping some Apple
Oh
some Apple
no.
product.
No.
No, I haven't. I've heard good things, and I believe
You
they
should
work,
definitely
but
try.
it's just I don't think it's a light thing because I no problem can fall asleep with a light directly in my face. It's a mental state. Um,
I
yeah,
mean, I guess it's your biological clock too. I mean, did you sleep early to wake
yeah.
up at 6?
Well, yeah, early, like an hour later than my normal bedtime because I'm
Oh,
too tired to stay awake later than that. I
oh
miss the
man.
days of my like early to mid 20s when I'd be up. Did I tell you in college I had so I had no class on Fridays, and
Yeah. Nice.
all of my classes were in the late afternoon. So every night I would be up until like 1 or 2 in the morning, just doing whatever, and I'd
Yeah.
sleep until noon. And
Yeah.
I remember my my roommates and my girlfriend
Uh-huh.
girlfriends had various ones. They would all get
Mhm.
so upset that I would sleep, so
And
late.
waste the day.
But like
But
I
I
was
mean,
up.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
I'd
I
get
do
up.
that on my weekends because I hardly get any sleep during the week, like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. So when the weekend comes, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's there to miss except for this show, the
All right.
Uncovering Anomalies podcast. It
Nice
is
one.
June something,
23rd.
June 23rd on a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday. And wow, that was great. That is I Have a Need to Know, Adam,
Hey, everyone.
and I am King Topher. Bow to me.
You can't top King Topher now.
Well,
I guess you can. There's Emperor, there's like Galactic, whatever. So you could actually.
there's a lot of things higher than King.
Yeah, true. Like bankers.
Whoa. That's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, not a good place to start.
Yeah. But we are going to talk about anomalies. We're going to talk
Yeah, we
about
are.
conspiracies. We're going to talk about the people in charge. We're going to talk about a lot of things,
All
but
of it.
mostly the UAPs.
Yes, and we are covering there's a possible alien megastructure apparently that they found. Although I feel like they always come out with something like that every year.
Yeah. Oh,
The
and
night
also
conspiracy.
there's every week it feels like the apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's coming.
Gets closer and closer. So MUFON is having a press conference, I think next week or in a couple of weeks. So we'll go through that.
Score.
There was a really cool UFO footage that we'll go through. There's like hairy aliens, mind control, new compelling evidence for Roswell, NASA DARPA nuclear rocket. So yeah,
Hell
there's a
yeah.
bunch of stuff we can get into, and of course World War III stuff.
Of course.
I mean, it's about to happen. We keep pushing, right? I mean, what's happening in Ukraine and Israel both are just waiting to explode.
Well, we've been talking about World War III since 9/11. So
True. Yeah. I mean, it's here though. It feels like, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, this is the joke I always say to
Fear
you
mongering.
is, yeah. What happens if World War III happens tomorrow? I'm gonna wake up and go to work, just like
Yeah, we talked
everyone
about
else.
this. I think, yeah, they'll probably divert our attention to like making weapons and munitions if you're too old to go to the army because they just passed that draft, right? In Congress. Women are included now, too. Anyone who's between 18 to 26 is automatically entered into the draft.
Hell yeah!
Women
I just
and
want to
men.
say, if you're a feminist and you don't support that bill, you're racist or sexist or something.
But the timing of it, and now we're really provoking Russia. We gave Ukraine weapons that they use today, actually within Russia, and they kill civilians, and they're pissed. This whole Hezbollah thing, and Israel also.
Russia just made that agreement with North Korea.
Right?
Yeah, the axis of evil.
The axis of evil. Wasn't it back then? It was Iran, North Korea, and was it Iraq, Iran, North Korea? Maybe.
Just name a Middle Eastern country. I'm sure they were on the axis of evil.
Plus North Korea.
Yeah, Jesus. Like they could do anything to us. No, this is great. This is a really fantastic video and actually mind-blowing, because I think we talked about crop circles a few months back. AJ on the Y-Files has a really good video on crop circles.
A good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things there that I kind of didn't really think about. And then after watching that video and seeing all the mysteries behind them, it's truly bizarre. This is not.
It is.
Crop circles are not just some backwater, some weird guys go out
with plywood.
Go out into the fields and knock them down. I mean, these things are precise, they're perfect, and they have a weird message to them.
Right, they have a weird message to them, and they're interdimensional, right? So they're 3D objects printed on a 2D plane.
2D surface, yeah, sure.
Right. So let's see this video. So it helps us visualize the 3D shape that it is.
Here are some two-dimensional versions that seem to be revealing the torus in 3D.
That one. Toroids. They're all toroids.
Yeah, I was just about to say we talked about toroids a few episodes ago, and all of these are that.
And here is the vector equilibrium.
Whoa. That's like those crafts.
Pattern of 64 that is encoded in the arts of so many ancient cultures.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Just very bizarre stuff.
And they're so intricate, and this one's huge.
Yeah.
And there's no footprints towards these things when they find them.
Here are some
So, I mean, a lot of them are human made, but there's a ton that are not. And like you said, there's always a message there. It makes us think more. They're very mysterious. I bet you the government got involved just to muddy the waters, as usual.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's that megastructure that they found. This is on News Nation.
Not alone. A group of researchers have identified at least 7 stars that might be surrounded by advanced megastructures known as Dyson spheres. Dyson spheres. What? Emily Finn joins us now to tell us more about this. Emily, Dyson spheres, possible megastructures, all of this is a lot to take in.
It certainly is. It might freak you out, it might pique your interest. I mean, it's certainly interesting. The thought is that potential superior intelligent life might be creating buildings or devices to harness energy around their home stars or planets, creating these so-called alien megastructures. This newly released study published by a group of researchers in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society specifically looks at the theory around Dyson spheres and finds at least 7 stars might be surrounded by these alleged alien structures already. The aliens, I guess, have been busy. The group looked at infrared heat near stars located within 1,000 light years from Earth, a type of heat that can't otherwise be explained. It all stems from a theory from 1960s physicist Freeman Dyson, who believed if these structures in fact existed, scientists on Earth might be able to pick up on those infrared waves. News Nation spoke with Jana Levin, a professor of astronomy and physics at Barnard College and at Columbia University, who casts doubt on the possible alien origins of what these researchers are observing.
Yeah, let's hear.
We are in a new era in terms of our understanding of how prevalent planets are and how planets are absolutely prolific in the universe. And that really suggests that life is prolific. The question is whether or not life can easily reach the phase of industrialization and building things. And
is she saying we're the only intelligent?
So this study.
No, I didn't get that impression.
Okay, all right.
Do you remember? Are you going to finish this video, or do you want me to?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember maybe, I mean, it happened when I was in college. They discovered that star and they figured out there was something revolving around it that didn't make any sense. They thought it was a Dyson sphere at the time. I don't,
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And it does come out like a lot, right? They always think it's a Dyson sphere.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
Basically, a Dyson sphere is you try to harness the energy of the star, right?
Right. I'm trying to remember what is it the Dyson scale? Like how to classify civilizations, like a type.
Yeah.
Like we're not even type 1 yet because we
Right.
haven't harnessed I don't even know if a type 1 is correct, but when you harness the power of your star, then you go up a level and then harness the power of the
Solar system.
system. Yeah.
And then galaxy.
Right. We're like a 0.2 on the. I'm going to call it the Dyson scale because I don't actually know what it's called.
Yeah, what is that called? A type 1 civilization, type 2 civilization, type 3 civilization.
Yeah, I mean it's a really cool sci-fi concept.
Right.
And honestly, I mean the age and scale of our universe is terrifying to think about.
Yeah.
Because here we are, puny little humans, we're on this mud world, and there's other civilizations potentially harnessing the powers of the star that they revolve around, or we're revolving around this woman's face.
Well, okay, yeah, let's get her face out of there. Move on to unveil astonishing UAP material test results at symposium.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and of course we noticed. So all right. So MUFON has, which is the Mutual UFO Network, will reveal details about a UAP materials case it recently received from Russia. It's Russian propaganda.
Oh no. Here we go again.
Exclusive live event on Saturday, July 13th at 8 p.m. Central Daily Time. Cool. So the tests by Russian labs, later corroborated by MUFON's own U.S. lab, confirmed the material is of unknown origin. While virtually any material can be identified by its components from the periodic table, unknown combinations or isotopic ratios can often point to a mysterious origin of samples.
Very interesting. Very interesting. We're seeing a lot of, it's weird because obviously there's a lot of tensions with Russia right now, but
yeah,
this isn't the only story that we're seeing where we are cooperating with Russia on the UFO front.
Yeah, and they've always been more open, especially their scientific community. I mean, they're not scared to touch the paranormal or psychic abilities.
Oh yeah,
or aliens or any of this stuff.
We talked about, I think it was last week, where we had the U.S. diplomats head over to Russia and they saw the UFOs. I mean,
right.
Very interesting stuff.
So now the story becomes even more compelling as some of the samples sent for additional testing were stolen from an official U.S. post office box.
Of course.
Shortly after they arrived for retrieval by MUFON investigator Robert Spearing. On top of this, cameras were turned against a wall, inhibiting investigation. Although postal work was
so transparent. They're so freaking transparent.
It's just material, man. Yeah, like nothing's allowed to come out. Absolutely nothing. Not even like specks of material. It's this subject, they're so paranoid about it. It's really something else.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels like the Matrix where you have the agents. Like, it really feels like that.
I mean, I was going to say this is, typical Men in Black behavior.
Yeah.
They have been documented going through mailboxes and stuff. This is, I mean, God.
I mean, remember was it Christopher Mellon? No, the owner of Skinwalker Ranch. Remember he said that his thumb drive was stolen right before he tried to give the presentation. He was lucky enough that his assistant saved it on his laptop.
Yeah, for all of you who are documenting UFOs and secret government stuff, always back up your drives to a separate location because for some reason they just go missing.
Always goes. So it goes, this is typical with evidence of this nature. We believe that this material was deliberately taken, by someone who could hack into a locked post office box to prevent further testing. Who did it is anybody's guess.
Now, hold on. Hack into a PO office, a PO box?
Right, they're boxes.
You don't hack into that. You
No.
lockpick it.
Right, you lockpick it.
It's a physical thing. You can't hack that.
I don't know what they're talking about, unless these new ones are electronic systems. Where it's like
that's not.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just know mine is literal. I use a key, old school.
Mine has lick technology. It only acknowledges my own tongue.
Do you still use a? When was the last time you used a stamp?
Oh God, college. I had to send a letter. I don't remember why. And I got laughed at because I had to buy stamps and I had to go, I went to the PO box. Sorry, the PO box. Went to the post office. Right. And I had no idea what I was doing because who mails things?
What was the last thing I mailed? Oh, it's stuff for the IRS. They still mail things. Imagine. I mean, or fax, but then that's always busy. What else would I send? Yeah, just that stuff. Faxes.
Do people still send faxes? Is that a thing?
I mean, unfortunately, it's still the legal way for the government. So, like, email is not yet official.
Unreal.
I know, right? I remember during COVID, there was no one at the IRS for weeks. It felt like the apocalypse. I couldn't get in touch with anyone. Anyway, that was some weird times.
Anytime you have to talk to the IRS, it's an apocalypse.
Dude, I hate those guys so much. I can't. I mean, seriously, if they can get rid of the IRS, that'd be so just freeing, you know.
Or they could actually, like, go after, the super rich people that don't pay taxes or hide money overseas, instead of going after Joe Schmo, who's got $200 in his account.
Exactly, and that's what they say. They say it's too expensive to go after the rich people, so they always go after.
So then it's pointless. So then the IRS has no job. They have no. Right. They're pointless.
They are absolutely. You know that they pushed because the income tax was unconstitutional, right? With the founders, yeah, and they convinced the people by saying, "Oh, don't worry, we're only going to tax the rich."
Lie.
And now, and that's how they convinced everyone. And now, when you look at it. Guess who funds the government? It's Social Security tax and it's payroll tax. Income tax, which mostly comes from workers because stockholders don't pay income tax. They have assets, and then they get dividends, right, or something, or they borrow against it or something.
Yeah, trust me, I could yell and scream all day about this. Just looking at my, my
payroll.
Yeah. I mean, it's unreal how much we give to the government, and
on top of that, you probably have to give income tax when you file. Yep. At least we do too, and it's just it's all going to Ukraine and Israel. I mean, and we're not taking care of ourselves here, and that's the infuriating part about it.
Yeah, but we're protecting our borders or something,
right? And our borders are completely open.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, here's Christopher Mellon talking about. We spoke about this offline, and. It's good and not good. He's basically saying it's good that the congressional intelligence committees they now officially support Arrow. They said they passed a law saying that they appreciate their work and their investigation and that they're really needed. So that does one thing where it guarantees funding for Arrow. But
let me read the tweet here. From Christopher Mellon. Heretofore, all congressional language on UAP has come from the House and Senate armed services and intelligence communities. It is therefore notable and encouraging to see. I don't actually think I have to read this. I think you saw. It is therefore notable and encouraging to see language supporting the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW, appearing in the House Defense Appropriations Bill. This broadening of support for Arrow's mission bodes well for future Arrow funding.
Or it's also for future. It's going to fund future UFO obfuscation.
Yeah, I mean, what I said. I mean, Arrow clearly, they don't tell the truth. They have an agenda, and the fact that they're getting more support is kind of. I mean, quite frankly, to me, it's baffling. It's clear to me, the average person, they have no business being in this field. They don't do anything but lie. And
to be fair, they have new leadership, so maybe we should give this guy a chance, right? I mean, it's not Kirkpatrick, so we'll see. We haven't seen anything yet from him.
they drop Kirkpatrick and then just get someone to fill his shoes and do the exact same thing. I mean, that's the
pattern. Yeah,
that's the pessimist in me, looking at this.
No, and you're right. That's the pattern of these agencies, unfortunately, especially when it comes to this subject. It's all anything that's public. It's just whitewashing, not mentioning really important details. So, but yeah, I mean, at least it has funding. Maybe at least now we can always say. But yeah, you know what? People always point to Arrow and say Arrow says there's no proof of
Such
any of
a
this happening.
BS excuse.
Yeah, and that's what they're probably there for. And of course, this is Luis Elizondo, right? UFO whistleblower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sent you this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, UFO whistleblower says he's being threatened as congressman warns protections are a joke. And this is why a lot of people aren't coming forward. I mean, look at Snowden. I mean, completely that's not relevant to UAPs, but people who bring forth very important information
and government secrets.
They either die or they get buried.
So Luis Elizondo is getting threats to his life. And I guess they have some sort of protections, but he's saying that protections currently in place are a joke, a congressman told Fox News. That's probably Burchett.
Yeah.
So what kind of threats? I guess
Elizondo, who is the head of a secretive Pentagon unit that studied UFOs, said there have been threats against him and several other whistleblowers formerly associated with the UAP phenomenon. Effort for the U.S. government. Yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, hell, if Boeing get away with killing their own whistleblowers, and Elizondo goes on to say, if something happens to me or my family members in the future, you will know what has happened.
Well, hopefully not. He has a new book coming out too.
Yeah, and I hope the best for this guy. I mean, Elizondo has been at the forefront of this UAP disclosure movement for a few years now.
Yeah,
and it was Burchett. Look at that. There's whistleblower protection, but it's a joke, and we know it's a joke. Burchett told Fox News Digital.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's scary stuff. It's just so disappointing to see this is how our government reacts to people revealing the truth.
Right, and if it's a lie, then why do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's the thing.
Call the guy a kook.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, just these evil fucks that we have in government.
Yeah, and here's the Arrow report.
I would say they can't keep getting away with it, but they sure as hell have.
Yeah, I mean, they have infinite money. That's the thing. When you have infinite money, it's just...
Yeah, they basically get a blank check every month.
Did you order the book or pre-order it?
I haven't. I've ordered other books that I have to do with my DUI, but that's
yeah?
Yeah.
Well, is it an electronic version?
No, I have
I
have to do the handwritten thing.
Oh my god. Well, did you start those already? Wednesday, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have started, and I've done some writing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it good?
All right, let's change topics.
All right. I cannot believe some amateur astronomer got this exposed. Clear as day, light UFOs roam around the solar system with impunity, while NASA cannot even get a stupid rocket up 300 miles.
Hey.
Now, this thing is if this thing's real, it's massive because this is Saturn. Saturn is like 10 Earths or something.
It's much larger than Earth.
Yeah, so this thing is like, I don't know, 5 mile wide. So here, let's start.
No, it's bigger than 5. It has to be bigger than 5.
Look at it. Yeah, it's like a planet-sized thing.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, it's like one of the moons. Actually, these are like the moons of Saturn.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that, I mean, the person who posted this is right. Someone in their backyard can get this footage, but NASA can't even get a non-blurry photo of Titan.
Yeah, it's a very good point because that stuff is classified.
Oh, Saturn's so pretty.
It really is. Have you seen it with the telescope?
Me personally, no.
Yeah, and you can see the rings like that. You know, if you have a really good one,
It always it's something that kind of baffles the mind, where the rings are something you just like, oh hey, those are rings, and then when you like think about it, I mean it just looks like a ring, right? But like every tiny little, it's just a bunch of rocks rotating that planet. It's bizarre. Right. It's so cool.
Yeah, rocks, ice particles.
Yeah,
it is really bizarre when you get close to it. So that's some cool footage. There's another one from the moon.
Good.
That someone also captured. He says, athletic CBD. Oh,
hey.
This one's pretty cool. First seen is full speed. That UFO-looking object seems to be flying around the moon. Haven't seen anything like it since.
It's clearly a space bird.
This is from a Nikon P1000.
Dude, cameras are getting so freaking advanced. It's awesome.
You're kidding me? This is just a Nikon? It's probably like $1,000.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely expensive. Don't get me wrong. All right, I'm looking there.
Where is it? There it is. Could be something in our atmosphere.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, is that a shadow?
Do we have satellites around the moon?
We do, yeah. Mapping out the moon, actually. Us, I think the Indians and the Chinese.
I wonder if that's that.
It could be. Very well could be. Yeah.
I mean, really cool footage. Really, really cool footage.
Especially that's from a Nikon.
It's Nikon, I think.
Nikon, yeah. 5/12, May 12th. Man, the moon's pretty.
Yeah, it is. God, I want to be at the moon so bad.
I mean, apparently in 10 years we're going to have bases on there, but
God, they've been saying that since the
Let's talk in 10 years, yeah. And I saw a video of this guy. He's a rocket scientist, and he investigated like NASA's plan on to get back to the moon. And he actually went and presented to them and said, why are you guys doing it like this? You're increasing your risk. You're wasting time. So, I mean, he had lots of great points there. And it's kind of depressing. Like, these guys don't even really think about these plans. It's like they tell them, all right, just get together in a room for 5 years and make up some really detailed plans that we won't ever implement.
Well, of course, because the public is not interested in going to space. They can't make us money. Meanwhile, we can spend billions and billions and trillions financing wars overseas, or
such a waste of money.
Yeah, just
such a waste. I mean, people argue like, well, it's the military-industrial complex. That's why we have all this technology. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have research and development and blah blah blah. But the problem is, yeah.
This is why I always say we need to start a campaign to bomb the moon. If we get the military involved, we'll be at the moon in like 3 months. Bomb the moon!
That's bomb Jupiter.
Bomb Jupiter! Stupid Jupiter and its big, sexy cloud gases.
It's red dot.
Yeah, it's weird, swirling red dot. Bomb it!
Thinks it's Hindu or something.
Yeah, it's probably Muslim.
Yeah, Muslim.
Go kill
that
those
red dot.
Jupiterians.
Yeah, we'll be there in a jiffy for sure. The entire economy will be focused on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So a UFO was captured by the Apollo lander.
Yeah, I mean, how much more information do we have to share about astronauts? Everything about the moon landing was so weird. They captured so many things. The astronauts on record saying that they saw weird things. I mean, there's just so much bizarre stuff, but we don't want to go there.
Right. Yeah, no.
Because again, the moon aliens are not Muslim. So
so wait, I'm convinced. What is this? Is this the
this is a really crappy slideshow.
What the hell is this? Well, it's from John Lear, apparently. Courtesy John Lear.
I mean, they heard music. They saw beings or craft on the edge of where they landed. The moon landing, just there's so much stuff to be. I mean, this is really low quality footage because again, it did take place in the late 1960s.
You'll like this one. Flying saucer caught on night vision.
Yeah, it is bizarre to me that how much footage we have of UAPs, UFOs, aliens, whatever you want to call them, on night vision cameras. I mean, they have some sort of cloaking.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that in the Vegas video last week that we talked about, and we talked about months before that.
Yeah, they definitely have some cloaking mechanism. Whoa, look at that.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. Wow, that is something else.
And he's got potty mouth, so I have him muted.
It's a Foo Fighter.
Yeah, it looks like it, huh? So
Yeah.
he switches between different spectrums.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that. Like the
Wow,
middle
what
is
is
polished.
that? What is that last one? That is wild.
I don't know.
I've seen the rest of those, but that one was something. I mean, that's really, really cool footage. I mean, again,
It's so erratic.
how do you explain this? How do you, with a straight face, go in front of
Balloon.
Congress and say, "Yeah, this is a bird" or something? It doesn't make any sense.
It's a new species, a new atmospheric species.
That is completely spherical.
Yeah, it's 'cause- yeah, and through thermal cameras. Well, I mean, I guess if it's alive.
Oh God, that's so cool.
What is that?
It looks like something out of Alien, the movie,
Yeah.
or Predator,
Yeah.
maybe.
Predator, yeah. Cool footage.
Very
What was
cool
this?
footage. I like that.
This is-
Anything good in the replies? I'm assuming no, because this is X after all.
Right. Had a few grand burning a hole in the pocket. Almost blew it on a thermal scope. Want to go? Oh,
Well, you should have blown it on a thermoscope.
seriously. That looks like really good footage to me.
Yeah.
The way the object is maneuvering, that's consistent with real UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
From Reddit, balloon isn't ruled out.
God. I mean, again, I use Reddit. I absolutely hate it. I hate the users so, and the admins and the mods, the Jannies.
So what's this guy saying? In the IR modes, it appears almost a ring. The material balloons are made from tend to be somewhat transparent to IR, not fully, but somewhat. So the edge on view of the perimeter of the balloon shows up more clearly than looking through the balloon.
Yeah, actually, if you, I noticed that in the very beginning of the video, you can kind of see something glowing in the middle, and the outside is dark. It changes sizes dramatically from the beginning of the vid to the end. I don't know about. Well, I think that's a distance thing. Oh, that's what he says, which suggests it was close to the scope of the beginning and moved away into the distance. I'd say the opposite. And for this change to be significant, to require it to be close to scope.
Yeah, I guess.
Erratic behavior. No, it's not a wind blowing thing.
Especially it was going in different areas. It was going back and forth, left and right.
It doesn't move in a way that suggests something other than the wind is involved. I disagree with that.
Why?
It clearly moves erratically. I mean, it moves in several different directions. That has nothing. The wind doesn't blow left, down, up, right, and all at the same time.
It goes circular.
Its temperature is very similar to the sky. No, it's not. That's why it was caught on film. Very good form of thermal view. I don't know.
A balloon is ruled out.
Not small.
Thank you for your thorough analysis.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Cool stuff.
Anyway,
I mean, that's really, really cool footage. We're seeing a lot of this IR footage of UAPs recently, and I'm here for it.
That is not wind, man.
You can kind of see that thing. It looks like it's flashing, like in the middle of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why does it keep getting? And would a balloon show up like that?
No. Balloons don't carry
heat.
heat. I don't think helium is hot.
He's saying because of this. He's saying it. It's a.
What is that camera? What is that filter?
I don't know.
It's driving me nuts.
Is that the IR?
Oh man, so
I think it's IR then. In the IR modes, it appears almost a ring.
I don't know. Very cool footage though. I like that.
Yeah. And then you sent me this one. 3 perfect spheres in the form of a triangle captured by a woman in north central Texas.
I'd argue that this is in fact just a triangle.
Oh, that's one object.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too perfect. Like it's so uniform.
Yeah.
Down to every minute like movement, right? Yeah. So maybe there's some cloaking going on here.
I mean, we've seen a lot of triangle UFOs. I mean, famously, there's one over Moscow, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yes. But you can
Yeah.
actually see the shape of the triangle.
Oh, wow, cool.
And I mean,
So
God, still that video. Wow, that is crazy. I mean, yeah, I think that's one. I don't know. I'm not some UFO expert.
I mean, it moves like it.
I'm a UFO expert as much as I can be.
I mean, you're more knowledgeable than your average Joe.
Yeah, right. I remember I was walking to the store yesterday, and I there was this lady that I was walking by, and I pulled her aside and said, "Do you know about UAPs?" And I just screamed at her for about.
Are you down with the UAP?
And then she called the cops, and I don't know what her problem was.
You scared the living daylights out of her. You know, you have to ease them in, Topher. You can't just give them the whole.
You know, I did. I talked about adrenochrome, and I talked about you know, a lot of stuff I threw at her. I tried to throw as much information as I could at her.
It's like the We Live. Right.
Put on these glasses. God, we Live is such a great movie.
It is. That fight that they go through
for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But honestly, We Live, that opened my eyes to it. I saw the movie during the beginnings of my awakening towards society in general. I mean, it's such a good movie to open people's eyes up.
I mean, I'm shocked it got funded and filmed, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were using it was Roddy Piper. They were using WWE fighters as actors.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a huge budget. And Keith David, hell yeah, Keith David.
Yep, he's in there. But the storyline is really cool. I mean, they actually go deep in there. It's not like
it's great. Yeah, there's supposed to be like sequels coming out. I heard.
You're kidding me.
No.
Well, that'll be fun.
I sure hope so.
Why did I mean, I think we've listened to most of these, but there's a great clip for NASA astronauts on UFOs. Gordon Cooper, we all know him. James McDivitt, Deke Slayton, and Edgar Mitchell.
Man, they had such cool names back in the day.
Now
boring names like Bob. No, that's a cool name too.
Deke Slayton,
Edgar, James, not Jimmy, James, and Gordon.
Who's
So are they talking about seeing UFOs? These astronauts? Is that what's going on? What's the original tweet here?
Space.com. NASA's UFO task force meets on May 31st, and you can watch it online with the live stream. Then he put that on there. NASA astronauts on UFOs.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to do it actually. It's 9 minutes, and I don't know. I think it was because there's one of them I've never heard of, which is Deke Slayton.
What a cool name.
Yeah. Now this one.
Hairy aliens, in quotes, used mind control to scare off officials from a UFO crash site. Ex-CIA scientist claims. Missing a comma there. Hairy aliens, that's a first. I don't think
I know, right?
Ever heard hairy aliens. They're always
gray aliens. Yeah. They're always naked, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of a hairy gray. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? You want to see a UFO?
Hairy where? And in this picture, they're not really hairy.
No.
Not a good job.
That's the stereotypical gray. Hey, man, you want to see my bush?
You got to smoke. Got a light.
Hey, got a light.
Got a light. Startling allegations have surfaced claiming that diminutive hairy gray aliens once visited Earth and used mind control on undercover U.S. officials to prevent the recovery of a UFO crash site. Okay.
Hey, nothing to see here. You want a cigarette? Move along, please.
You want to smoke? So their exchanges were revealed in a 1999 issue of a UFO magazine, penned under the false name Greg Halifax. Here, the narrative of an individual known as Sedge Masters. Oh, the Sedge Masters. We've gone through those. So Sedge alleges that this operation constituted the blackest of American covert operations.
Racist.
Yeah, sounds like it. Roping in various intelligence community members, all thoroughly screened for psychological soundness, reports the Daily Star. Locations involved in these incidents named after zodiacal constellations and ranging from New Mexico to Denmark to the Midwest of the U.S. sparked great intrigue. However, the most mysterious one, dubbed Zodiac, and that's what actually Zodiac is, they're saying, is what Majestic is called now. It's called Zodiac.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, we've talked about doing a deep dive on Majestic 12. I'd love to, because my Majestic 12 knowledge kind of
okay. Let's do that next week. We'll do a deep dive. We'll go on the website and we'll look through all the papers. No, we'll do it next week.
All right.
So I won't send anything else.
Well, it's good that you say that, because that means there's a huge alien invasion that's going to happen.
Always, right?
Yeah, every time.
Well, if it happens, then we'll cover it at the end or something.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Zodiac. So aliens invaded. All right, we'll see you all next week.
That would be kind of awkward, huh? But we got to stick true to our word. So, in the account, an anonymous colonel recounts to a psychologist how during one crash retrieval. Wait, just before seeing that, I read something that they went through emails. So whose emails? A fresh analysis of emails and accounts suggests that extraterrestrial beings were present, described as small, gray, and hairy.
There's something about, like, okay, if you see like the small grays, like the picture above, that would be pretty scary. To me, there's something, if they were hairy, I don't think it'd be that scary. I think that actually makes them more like, hey, this is kind of cool.
God, we're going to call the episode. We'll call the episode something with hairy aliens. Yeah. Oh, so funny.
The colonel recounts to a psychologist how during one crash retrieval, a massive UAP craft materialized overhead the crash location, telepathically instructing the recovery crew against salvaging the downed vessel. Very interesting. The team then experienced 90 minutes of missing time, very common, and were not able to share that information with staff at anyway, the CIA. Until they were telepathically released and able to do so. The psychologist states the little gray bastards have thought control and empathy projection.
All right, it sounds like a comic book.
I mean, most of it's common except for the hairy part. I can't get over that. Hey, you better stay away from that crashed UFO. Anyway, you got a cigarette?
Got a light.
Got a light.
So apparently, a document shared on Reddit this week alleges that WAPAF holds over 2 million accounts of UAP UFO sightings by military personnel and U.S. civilians, which were never investigated.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, they're just crazy. They're just crazy people. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, this is Rendlesham all over again. Again, a U.S. military base over in the U.K. had a very similar thing happen. Not hairy aliens.
No hairy aliens.
Something that happened right around Christmas. I think it might have even been on Christmas.
Yeah.
But they had missing time, and it doesn't matter. It's a whole thing. Look into it. Rendlesham is the UK's Roswell.
Yep, and of course it's a nuclear base.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Always a nuclear base.
New compelling evidence found a Roswell UFO site could prove alien craft crashed in 1947, experts say.
Look at that. Just Roswell is a gift that keeps on giving.
It sure does. But were there hairy aliens? That's what I want to know.
The hairier, the better.
Hey, you got a comb?
Gotta get these dingleberries off.
So for some reason, I'm thinking like I'm in my head. I'm picturing Bigfoot, but like alien.
Oh yeah, like a tiny Bigfoot.
Yeah, like a tiny Bigfoot.
Weren't those in Communion They had some blue ones. There was I think there were some hairy ones, weren't they?
I don't. Not that I'm.
Not in the book, but I think in the movie.
No. The movie with Christopher Runnin.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them had hair. I do remember because they were like the stereotypical grays that opened their face up, and they were like another race that was like I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
But then there were the small squat ones that looked like gnomes, but alien.
Right. Something out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they really did.
It's all right. So what did these guys find? So Kimbler has since uncovered over 20 unusual scraps of metal material, most no bigger than a fingernail, and has now submitted one uniquely odd metal for testing to the Discovery Channel's new series, Alien Encounters, Fact or Fiction.
Well, don't send them there.
Yeah, they'll be gone. Testing revealed that the metal was 100% pure aluminum. Okay, which experts said was compelling evidence that could prove aliens crashed in the area decades ago.
See, that sentence is an oxymoron to me. 100% pure aluminum I would think that that's a human construct, right?
Yeah. So why would they say it's 100%? Maybe our aluminum is not 100% aluminum.
I don't know.
What's going on over here?
Wow, I didn't even see that.
So he holds it in here.
Excuse me.
I was really trying to champion truth throughout. Okay,
see, this is the problem with UFO hunters. Every time that the first thing they do is go make a TV show, I know that they're grasping at straws. In my opinion, other people could have different opinions, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you should always question if it's on mainstream television.
Yeah,
because they're all owned by the Intel, or can be influenced. So Newton found the tests on the pure aluminum mystery metal to be compelling. She said, in part because a former Pentagon UFO investigator has told her that pure aluminum has been connected to multiple other UFO crash sites. Okay, so apparently pure aluminum we can't make.
I guess. I mean, if it has been connected to other UFO crash sites, that's. I mean, I don't know. That's good stuff, I guess.
The insect colonies are known for collecting sturdy and sometimes buried materials to build their tunnel systems, according to Jim. Oh, so they found them. Her co-host said he had pulled this particular metal fragment roughly a quarter-inch long from an anthill within the Roswell debris field. All right, nice, ants, nice. Helping us with our investigations. And aren't there ant people down there?
Of course. I prefer the belief in crab people, but that's just me.
Man, I can't eat shrimp now anymore because of you, or even lobster.
Just wait until you hear about all the poop that's in the ocean.
I know. All right. Thanks to the ants' undertakings, prospectors have discovered rich lodes of gold, copper, nickel, turquoise, diamonds, and many other minerals. Some of it could be trash, blah, blah, blah. All right. I mean, we'll see.
Pure aluminum? Is it really?
Here it is again. Look at that.
Yeah, they're obsessed with this. I didn't realize pure aluminum is that, well, no pun intended, so alien to us.
Me neither. Should I look it up?
Yeah. Type into Google pure aluminum.
Pure aluminum. 99% aluminum, it says here on Wikipedia. Pure aluminum is a soft, silvery white, ductile, and non-magnetic metal.
Well, that's helpful.
Ultimate guide to pure and high purity aluminum. I know that the process of making aluminum is very bad for the environment.
Well, now, hold on. I don't want to derail you, but there's an article on the right side that's titled Saucy Secrets. My boss and I have a post-work... Yeah, you got it right away. Have a post-work habit that many would think is weird. I thought it was fine until we're both getting aroused.
Oh my God.
What website are we on right now?
This is the Daily Mail.
Oh, that makes sense.
And here's
that's the site. So that's the picture. So supposedly, when he brought the crash debris, this is the guy who brought some of the Roswell debris into.
Mantell, right?
Yeah, he brought it to his superiors and then was taken into a back room. And then when he came back in, it was completely different from what he had brought in. That's what he says.
Right.
It would not surprise me. The U.S. government is very sloppy at covering up their secrets.
They are, and do you know? And we've covered this on the show too.
Yeah,
This paper that he's holding, it's saying something to transport to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They analyzed it with AI.
Yeah, I mean, there's that picture of there it is right there.
Yeah, it's Jesse Marcel.
Yeah, and I mean, he has come on record to say it's completely staged.
Oh yeah, he said he was asked to do this. He was asked to lie. It was not what he found. What he found, he said, is not anything that we have. And he had the clearance to know. He was an intel officer.
Roswell is great. There's so many cool stories. It's been so sloppily covered up.
And so many eyewitnesses, and it's because and the problem happened before the whole Secrecy Act.
Yeah, the problem is it happened so long ago that, I mean, you can't look. I mean, you can look it up now, but what you're going to find are, I heard from this person who heard from this person who heard from this person, because it's been so long. I mean, they did a really good job of burying it because people weren't obsessed with UFOs. They were, but not in the same sense that we are now. And then we went through that, I don't know, 30, 40 year gap where people who cared about UFOs and alien experiences were completely written off as kooks because the CIA did their job very well.
And it's one of the only ones where there's signed affidavits by military for Roswell. So it's one of the it's probably the only one that has that. So there's signed affidavits. There's so many witness testimony. All the records at Roswell Air Force Base have been destroyed from that night. So lots of weird shenanigans.
What's really cool to me is Roswell only happened is because some sheep herder was trying to get his sheep back, or was it sheep or goat? I don't remember. He was trying to get his sheep or goat back to his place and came across this huge crash out in the middle of the desert, and his sheep and goat wouldn't walk across it, so he had to walk like 2 miles around. And then so for those who don't know, the Roswell crash didn't happen in Roswell. It happened in the town next, the next place over. Roswell was just the only place with, I think, a news thing and a police station. And then
and then they contacted Marcel only like hours after, because they didn't have communications, wasn't available.
It wasn't the internet
now, right? Exactly. So it took like days to get to the crash site.
Yeah.
Anyway, Roswell's really cool.
Very cool story.
Nitinol is a memory metal now. They're saying that came from the Roswell crash.
Memory metal. So all these people that came across this crash site, they were picking up pieces of it and goofing around with it, because what else do you do in the 1940s? But they would say they'd crumple it up and then let it go, and it would pop back into its original form.
They couldn't cut it. They couldn't burn it. They couldn't saw it. Nothing.
They even tried to boil it. They tried to burn it, all this other stuff, and nothing could affect it. It was, I mean, this is why this is such a big story even today.
Right.
This is why people are obsessed with it.
Ben Carlson actually was on the PBD podcast, and he said that the Roswell craft was taken down by scalar weapons, radar technology that they took from Tesla, from his Tesla papers.
Right, and when we say Tesla, we don't mean what's his name over at SpaceX.
Musk, right? No, we see Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. I mean, that's been a very popular theory that radar technology is what took them down.
Right, and it makes sense that now because it's not like we can do it all the time, because they probably develop technologies against it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much lore. I don't want to say lore, but
yeah, it is.
There's so much cool stuff that happened with Roswell.
Yeah, the 40s and 50s were the coolest time for this.
It was a groovy time, man.
Groovy, and we need to we are spending more money again on nukes. Everyone is, I guess, ramping up for World War III, but we know that if we start testing again, and the US apparently is going to start testing again underground, so we know that's going to bring more UFOs.
Yeah,
always does.
All right, so here we have a post on my favorite website, Reddit. Aliens confirm that humans have a light body duplicate. This light body survives after you die. This is essentially the soul theory. So have you read this book, The Andreessen Affair?
I have not.
It's really good. It's one of my favorite abduction stories. Betty Andreessen was a wife and mother of a crazy amount of kids.
Okay.
Her story about being abducted by aliens is absolutely bizarre. She met and spoke with them and went to another plane of existence, according to her.
Really?
It's really cool. I can lend you the book if you want. There's so
Okay.
much to this story. Again, lore.
So it was a great type of alien that she used to meet with.
It's so complicated, man.
Quasga.
Quasga. Yeah. So she was in her home with her kids. Her dad was there. Her oldest daughter. So, okay, I'm trying to sum it up, but it's so complicated. So they were all in the living room. There was a pink light around the house.
Okay.
Everything froze, but she was able to move. These aliens came through the door, but not like opening the door and walking through it. I think she used the term skated. They like moved in uniform and like
They like float.
Yeah, but like they were floating, but not. They were on the ground, but like they would. It's hard to
jerk.
No, they would Okay, imagine. Okay, you know how our astronauts, when they were on the moon, they would kind of do that like hop, jumping.
Oh yeah,
walking. It was kind of like that, but they were in uniform and in a line, and they came into her room or into her house, and she thought they were angels. So something that I don't know if this post covers is she was deeply religious, and so she thought they were angels, and so she tried to cook for them because that's what you do as a deeply religious person. And then so God, this is what I'm talking about. It's so complicated, man. You need to read this scenario because it's deeply religious, but like also the whole reason is religious is because she's religious. I think
because it's her point of view,
right?
Yeah,
but like none of the other people in the family, even though they were frozen, like they woke her daughter up and she remembers it, but she won't talk about it. Her dad, same thing. Her dad talked about it and said it looked like people with funny costumes and masks on.
Really?
But they took her up into her ship. They examined her. They put her in a chair, and there was a tube that gave her like sickly sweet syrup that went in her mouth that allowed her to travel. Apparently, dude, you have to read this. It is so crazy. And
so what? It took place what in the 60s?
Yeah, and it happened in one night. But
what state?
I don't remember. I mean, it is such a. I believe it was East Coast, Maine. I don't know. It's just such a bizarre story.
Here it says Betty, on the other hand, was allowed to participate with a number of light beings in a fantastic procedure that changed her and them into balls of light and back to their light being form.
Yeah, man, it's so bizarre. And then like she tried, if I remember correctly, she gave them a Bible, and then they looked at it and laughed and go, "Ha ha ha! This is not the full Bible." And they put in more pages into the Bible that only and they gave it to the daughter. I think I might be screwing up the story. Dude, there's so much to this abduction scenario. And again, so I was reading this book when I went out to visit my parents a few years back. And I was explaining this to my mom, and she goes, "Oh, it sounds like a heroin overdose or something." And I was like, this is a highly religious woman with many kids. This is not some sort of drug overdose. This is a very weird thing.
That's funny. A heroin overdose. I mean, it could be.
I don't know. I don't know if those were exact words, but it's such a bizarre, because this is not, once you read the book, you'll understand this is not a woman who was into science fiction. This is not a woman who cared about fiction at all.
Has she done any interviews that we can find?
Yes,
Maybe
a lot.
Yeah,
She has done a lot until the day she died. But
Betty
anyway,
and Grayson.
I've gone completely off topic because this post is not about her abduction. This post is about what the aliens say, and this is a very common theme that I'm seeing a lot of, is that this is really about the soul, and that the soul is separate from the body, and they can use the soul to do different things.
Yeah, and they're saying that we have a duplicate, a light duplicate.
Another word for soul. I know they call it the light duplicate, but
or soul, right?
Yeah.
And that DNA is very important to that. The most important thing that DNA molecule does it's store light, both in our physical body and in our energetic duplicate body as well. Very cool,
dude. You have to read this abduction scenario. I mean, it is truly bizarre. And she was put under hypnosis, which I know a lot of UFO people believe and don't believe. The Andreessen Affair, I'm looking at it on my shelf right now. It's
cool. I'm gonna see if there's an audiobook.
I'm sure there is. It's not super long. It's very enjoyable. Quasga changes shape several times, but she goes and she meets a phoenix before she knew what a phoenix was. I mean, it's very
really.
And she goes, oh man, and there's so much stuff.
Yeah, because you keep saying something and you want to say something else, and you want to say something else.
She goes into the red world, and the red world has these little monkey things, but the eyes are on stalks that stick out of the head, but there is no head. It's so cool, man. It's the trippiest thing I've ever read.
She doesn't trip. I mean, if it was in the 60s, she wasn't taking like acid or something.
No, once again, see, you're my mother. This is a woman, highly super religious, who did not do drugs and had a lot of kids. So if you're highly religious, have a lot of kids, I can't imagine you're doing acid in the 60s.
Yeah.
Or, maybe that's, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe if you're a mother in the 60s with a lot of kids and you're highly religious, maybe you have to do acid to get by. I don't know.
I don't know. I think you're right. I mean, here's in 1978 also they had human-looking entities, robed human-looking entities.
So I think this is later in her story, because I could have sworn the original abduction happened in the 60s. I know she got divorced, and her new husband, there's a lot of contention there. Her second, I don't even know if it's her second husband. The husband later said he constantly was having alien abductions happen to him, but it was him getting blackout drunk and then waking up and not remember what happened the night before. So there's a lot. Again, there's a lot packed into this story.
So how can it be a small story then? Because it sounds like there's a lot in there.
Man, read the book.
Okay.
She did a lot. She obviously, the book's out there. There's a lot of interviews after, I think.
Okay. I'd like to see that actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we should check YouTube right now.
Nice lady though. Very nice lady.
Andreessen? Betty Andreessen?
Betty Andreessen, yes. Andreasson.
The terrifying paranormal case of Betty Andreessen. Alien UFOs.
See the screenshot there? Kind of. It showed the aliens like walking through the door, kind of right there.
Oh, I've seen that picture before.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Is she drew a lot of what she saw. That's included in the book. That's why I think you should read a physical copy, because she kind of shows what she saw. I mean, it's a very, very crazy case. No, that's Betty and Barney Hill, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything. Can you?
Oh, you can't hear anything?
No, I can't.
Really?
YouTube wants us to stop telling the truth.
What about now?
Nope, still nothing.
Okay, let me try something.
It doesn't matter. Listeners, go out there and YouTube Betty Andreessen. Very cool story. Betty and Barney Hill, fantastic. Betty Andreessen, very cool story as well. Also, all the stuff that happened with what's his name, the writer, that happened up at his cabin. Crap. Willie Streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his books are great too. So NASA and DARPA collaborating on a nuclear-powered rocket for quick trips to Mars.
Quick should be in quotes.
Right.
So I know NASA's been in the news recently. They delayed, I think I thought they delayed a Mars trip because they saw that kidneys were shrinking with low gravity. So this is a pretty surprising news story that I saw.
You brought that up.
I responded to you when you sent this to me.
Yeah. So either this is uncrewed, right?
That's what I originally thought.
Yeah. Demonstrations in 2027. Our intent is to lead and develop a blueprint for human exploration and sustained presence in the solar system, said NASA deputy. Aren't we bankrupt? Anyway, Draco will be a critical part of evaluating the technologies that will take us deeper into the solar system. Nuclear thermal engines.
Really? We haven't done nuclear thermal engine tests for 50 years? That's embarrassing.
Right. It just went black. We know that.
Yeah. The engine will see a fission reactor generate high temperatures to heat a liquid propellant, unnamed propellant, which then expands and is ejected through a nozzle to propel the spacecraft. NASA says that the engine could be 3 or more times more efficient than traditional chemical propulsion.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but still, you can. So the whole thing about physics and space travel is the faster you go, the more crushing it is to the people inside. I mean, they have those. So everyone's seen those in the movies where they put the guy in the chair and it spins around the room really fast.
Right.
To create G's. I mean, it doesn't matter how fast you can go if it's manned. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, in Space Odyssey 2001, they had that orbital area of the spacecraft, right?
Yeah.
Where they lived.
Well, and The Expanse covers this as well. They always talk about, how important thrust is. Basically, you thrust half the way there, and then on the other half, you spin the craft around and you start to slow down, but you have to do it at a certain rate because otherwise, you'll
crash.
Well, no, you won't crash. It'll crush the people inside the ship.
Because you're going so fast. Well, then there has to be some kind of artificial gravity somehow to not have that.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking to you about, because you can thrust up to certain G's. I mean, so you've seen videos of aircraft pilots who pass out as they're doing spins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's the same thing in space. You can only go a certain speed for so long. Your whole body is pressed so heavily. You pass out or you die. You can have a stroke. I mean, it's super dangerous. That's why when you first sent this to me, I was like, this can't be manned, because there's no such thing as a quick trip to Mars. That's probably a 9-month trip.
And probably normally, I think this does this say like 3 months?
There's if it's 3 months, it has to be unmanned. I mean, there's just no way. You'd kill any passenger you have.
Yeah, this one's definitely unmanned because at the end it says NASA and DARPA's timeline of a 2027 in-space test gives the agencies plenty of wiggle room to fine-tune the rocket technology ahead of the planned crewed mission to Mars.
Yeah,
in the late 2030s.
Right. Okay, so this is unmanned for sure. That makes a lot more sense.
Okay, so yeah, it gives them 10 years to test everything.
Let's hope Musk gets his shit together.
Yeah, or let's.
Do you remember? I remember again back in college where there was some weird company that was doing signups for want to be the first settlers on Mars.
Yeah, I remember that. I signed up, I think. No, wait. Or was I too old by then? I forgot why I didn't continue that one. I remember that website, though.
Obviously, it ended up going nowhere.
Right. Yeah. Did they ask for money?
I'm sure they did. I mean, let's be real here.
Scams everywhere. Yeah. Reserve your spot for $1,000. It's what a scam. If they did. Yeah. So this is the whole global. What does he call it? Oh, global UAP, global defense system, defense theory. We've talked about this before. It's basically this guy saying that these spheres, they always come in 3s or 2s, and they always show up when UFOs show up. So he thinks that we have our planet as a global defense system using these UAPs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, look at humanity. It's not that far-fetched.
Yeah, an award-winning Stanford University professor has stated an Irishman's UAP global defense network theory should be investigated. Even Gary Nolan, yeah, he's saying 100% that extraterrestrials have visited Earth.
He stated last year his belief. This has been going on for a long time, speculating that UAP are emissaries and possibly advanced drones. Yeah, I mean, if you want to put it in nuts and bolts, that seems most likely. That is the most metal picture I've ever seen, by the way.
That's Patrick Jackson. That's the
that looks like the cover of some metal album, doesn't it?
It does, from the 90s.
Yeah.
Patrick has spent 20 years studying the sphere UFOs seen by many in the skies, something which was also grudgingly admitted by the Pentagon last year.
What assholes.
Yeah, I've been talking to Patrick for over a year now and was among the first to try to get him out there. I think there's something worth investigating. And here's the spheres, and he says they're always pointing. If they're going after something, there's some kind of position they do that shows they're going after a specific target.
Yeah, I mean, we just posted that, or we just shared that video of the three spheres in triangle formation over in Texas. I mean, I wonder if that's involved with this. Like, I wonder.
I have to pause 1 second. All right, sorry about that.
I am deeply aware of the situation. I find the results and general observations compellingly worth trying to understand, Professor Nolan continued. Is that his voice? I think I nailed it.
I don't think that's his voice.
Sets of spheres seen in photos that were unnoticed over decades. I am Batman. Who would know to hoax them repeatedly until Patrick noticed them? Full credit to him.
To him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if this got cut or not, but you know, we shared that video of the Texas woman who saw the three spheres that made up a triangle.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the same phenomena.
It might be. I mean, he's saying this suggests that whoever built it is still around and maintaining it. A second species. Harvard researchers suggest aliens may live among us. So
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We keep coming back to this theory over and over again. Crypto. What was the word? What's the term?
Cryptoterrestrials.
There it is.
So yeah, everyone's talking about this.
This is the cryptoterrestrial hypothesis, namely the notion that UAP may reflect activities of intelligent beings concealed in stealth here on Earth. For example, underground, and or it's near environs. Example, the moon, and or even walking among us. Example, passing as humans. Sorry, I don't know.
It works. It works.
Acting mode.
No, it works with these types of words. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's sphere described by Patrick as on the left.
On the left. Hey, you see that sphere over there? It's on the left. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing. It's interesting. I'm wondering if this is the buildup. Turns out, I think I've made this joke the last 2 episodes, but the call was coming from inside the house. I'm wondering if that's the thing that they're building to.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it. That they're going to introduce that there's a new species here that we share this planet with.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? Interesting?
What was that? What happened to your mic? It got really loud.
Oh, sorry. I turned my volume up just so I could hear you
Oh.
better. I can turn it back.
No, that's fine. It's okay now. It's like for a second. So now, since after, I mean, this follows that there is a global defense. You know, these spheres basically defend this planet, but NASA finds that humanity would totally fumble asteroid defense. Now, if there is something defending this planet already, then I think we'll be fine with asteroids. But
Yeah, I mean, worst comes to worst, just like that movie Armageddon, we can send some oil drillers up there and knock down that asteroid.
it's such a great movie.
We can send Bruce Willis up there.
Yeah. Oh, poor Bruce.
Poor guy.
He's not doing very well.
Yeah,
Sucks. Oh, Donald Sutherland passed away.
I saw that. Yeah,
That was sad.
very sad. Yeah, both good actors. I was wondering why Bruce Willis kept taking all these weird movies. Sounds like he was just trying to make some money.
Yeah, to fund it.
Yeah, poor guy.
Or at the end.
Anyway, NASA finds humanity would totally fumble asteroid defense. I know you brought up, maybe UFOs would take care of this, but it is kind of worrying that we'd screw this up so bad, and I could totally see it.
Limited readiness.
It'll be just like that movie Don't Look Up, where half the government is going, hey, let's put all of our resources into this one rich smart guy, and also half the population refuses to believe that it's a real thing.
That was such a great movie. I was surprised. I didn't think it would be that good, but it turned out to be really good.
Yeah, there's very,
because it's just so true how people act.
It's very true. Apparently it's an allegory for global warming.
Oh, really? Oh, that half the population is oblivious to it and half really care.
Half don't think it's a real thing.
Right.
In an exercise.
So I'm going to save the planet by being taxed. Yes, that's going to do it.
Yeah. Tax me harder, Daddy.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna take more of my money and put it into a fund, and I'm sure that'll fix it all.
Right. In an exercise involving multiple U.S. government agencies during April 2024, NASA conducted a so-called tabletop game in which participants plot the response to a 72% chance that an asteroid may hit Earth in 14 years. The results were sobering. Well, a tabletop game, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, seriously.
Underpinning a bewildering number of moving parts is the likelihood that space agencies are not ready to implement the operations needed to find out more about the threat and mitigate it, even with more than a decade to prepare.
I mean, it's them asking for more money.
Yeah, I was going to say, and as we know, our money clearly is well used.
But yeah, now don't we have a space force too? Shouldn't that be their job?
Yeah, but they're not there yet, right? Didn't that just come out like 8 years ago?
Right, and they're focused more on satellites.
Gotta shoot down those Russian spy satellites.
72% chance. All right.
Okay.
10 million people.
Is there a spot where it sums up like how the planning failed? No, I think it's down where you were just at.
Here.
Let me see.
Oh, here it is. It's still vague.
Yeah, it's very vague. Yeah, I mean it's a really interesting concept. I mean, there's no wonder that there's been so many movies about asteroid impacts on Earth. I mean, hell, it's what killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah, and
it's not like
I don't know if nukes are going to help because it'll just make 50 more asteroids.
Yeah, I mean,
and radioactive ones.
It's a very I feel like I grew up watching disaster movies. Asteroids was one of them. I remember we had to watch something in high school. It was about Yellowstone erupting.
Oh yeah, and
Yellowstone is a super volcano for those who don't know.
Right, and it's primed.
supposedly overdue.
Just like the earthquake that's supposed to happen in California. That's supposedly overdue.
Everything's overdue. World War III has been overdue for about 10
And
years now.
So Northrop Grumman, the manta ray, has some videos out.
Underwater drone. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
I wonder how deep can it go? Because the surface is pretty cool, but I can't hear the. Oh, okay, you've got it down. But
Want me to turn it up?
no. I don't care about the audio. I was just curious. I want to see what's at the bottom of the ocean. We've got so little of the ocean mapped.
Yeah.
I wonder how deep this can go. I think drones are a really good way of going about that.
And China apparently copied this already. There it is. It can sit.
Yeah, shocker. Because, I mean, oh, God, I got a VR headset on. Sweet.
Of course. Oh, and they designed it all in VR.
Very interesting. I mean, it's cool. I don't like that the government, well, when I say the government, I mean Northrop Grumman. I don't like that they have this much influence. That's cool. I like 3D YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Or 360.
Any UFOs up here?
Of course not. There's a UFO right there. Well, it's a USO, but
yeah,
it's that thing right there. Yeah, I hope this actually gets used for good, but who am I kidding? This is going to get used to spy on North Korea or something.
Oh, for sure this is going to the Chinese Sea. The China Sea. So underwater, it's not really...
I mean, I'm assuming they've got better cameras than whatever they've got on the back there.
Yeah, and something's happening with the internet.
Anyway, really cool stuff. Technology grows exponentially, so this is pretty wild to see. Who knows what they have next, and who knows what the U.S. government has. If they're willing to show this to us, please.
Yeah.
Who knows what the Navy is doing under the ocean?
Exactly. This is what they show us. It's not really going underwater. I want to see.
Yeah, I know it's totally lame. This is what I was talking about. This is why I said I hope it can go really deep, because a foot underwater is cool, I guess, but like, who cares?
Really.
I could do that in 30 minutes. Get in my car and go to the beach.
Axios notes that sea drones are reshaping naval combat, especially in Eastern Europe, where Ukrainian forces are sinking prized Russian ships using far smaller and cheaper tech. More uncrewed systems.
I mean, it's the way of the future, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
I've got this really depressing image in my head of there's some guys with AK-47s hiding out in a cave, literally almost starving to death because they're fighting for their freedom and their lives, and then some giant robot who's being piloted by some 18-year-old douchebag in Nevada.
All right.
Is operating the robot and gets to, kill them. No problem. No questions asked.
That is the future.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the picture of the future.
Yeah. So mysterious Las Vegas monolith appears in desert. These monoliths have been showing up. When was the first story when this came out?
Was that Utah, the first one?
Yeah, it was like 15 years ago. It was a long time.
Yeah, it's been happening for a while.
But we're seeing more and more in these, and this is the newest one. Happened outside of Las Vegas. I mean, I think supposedly the guy who created these came forth and said it was an art project.
Whoa!
Yeah, with the mirrors on it. It's a cool thing. I like it. Hopefully,
cool.
all of you have seen 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie. It was the 2001: The Space Odyssey walked so everything sci-fi could run.
Yeah, it's still up there. No one can. People try to top it, and there are some. I would say on my first hand, there's probably a top 5 when it comes to sci-fi movies, and it's number 1. Interstellar, I think, is up there. That's a great one.
And it's got a very David Lynch ending, as in you watch it and you've got way more questions than you had when you started.
Yeah, and apparently what the monolith represented, from researchers that they say is the movie screen. That the movie screen is going to evolve humanity, and just using that message, humanity can evolve to a much greater civilization or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these monoliths. This is one from Nevada, from Utah.
That's cool. It shows how tall it is.
Yeah,
The height of two guys.
So I mean, it's not easy to bring in and just. Oh, this was California. This one.
What was the name of that city? Atascadero.
Atascadero, yeah.
I've never heard of that city before.
Me neither. Right outside of Los Angeles, north of Los Angeles, Utah, and then this is the one from
Wales.
In Wales, yeah, we covered that one when it came out, and this is the one right now in Vegas.
Yeah,
Weird.
I mean, it's really. I mean, I can't imagine being some weird hiker out there off the trail and coming across this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real find because it's off the trails and stuff when they find them. So, of course, the corporate world's getting into. I didn't know it was UFO Day, World UFO Day. That was yesterday.
Oh, we missed out. I should have gone outside.
So, Subway to deliver sandwiches by drone in Dallas, elsewhere for World UFO Day.
I don't get this. First of all, I've got a grudge against Subway. Hopefully,
because
you were all
your representative was a pedo. That guy.
No, just hopefully our listeners are old enough to remember that $5 footlong was a thing. My coworker the other day was like, "Hey, you want a coupon for Subway?" I go, "Sure, I'll have a Subway every once in a while." I goes, "You can get an $8 footlong," and I was just like, "Oh God, that's how far we've fallen." It used to be $5 footlong, and they made a big deal out of it. And then, do you remember this? They started their footlongs weren't even a foot long, and
what?
Yeah, they were.
I
like
did not know that
10 inches or something. And then now they're acting like an $8 footlong is so special. But also, this is not a feasible thing. I mean, this is something that was created for the article because think about it. How many possible drones do they have?
10?
Yeah, and they're flying around delivering footlongs.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is dumb. I mean, this is real. Do you remember when Amazon said they were delivering things by drone
in the UK?
How long did that last?
Not long at all. I remember the system. What it was, you have a landing pad.
Yeah, you have to put it on your backyard. So you have to have a yard first of all.
You have to have a yard. Yep. And that landing pad, and then I don't know if do you have to go up to it and take what you need, or does it drop it off and then it leaves?
I hope all of those Amazon drone packages were dropped from a height of 500, 600 feet. Because, again, it's a really stupid idea.
I mean, if someone's going to do it, it'll be probably Domino's or Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Definitely be Little Caesars.
Because they had to get there quick.
Yeah.
Hey, is Little Caesars only in California?
I do not know the answer to that. I know for sure that I had never heard of Little Caesars before I moved to California.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it might be. And then you sent me some. I don't know what these are, by the way. So maybe you can shed light. But it was this and an archive.org document.
Okay, so yeah. So everyone talks about the adrenochrome, like it was kind of like a joke, half conspiracy that celebrities would inject adrenochrome into their bodies to make them younger and healthier and yada yada yada. This guy made a post on conspiracy that he found actual proof. It's a lot to delve into, but he was saying, if I remember correctly, hold on, I'm reading this really quick. No, this is not what I'm thinking of. But anyway, he was saying that he was going through medical documents and found that someone was harvesting adrenochrome, even though it's supposed to be a conspiracy or some big myth.
Oh, so that's what this is.
Yeah. This guy's saying, I was reading, it doesn't matter, but there's a huge, so it was posted on the conspiracy sub and I was looking through it and I was going like, holy shit, this is wild. And it got immediately deleted. And then thank God one of the users had copied it and posted it into a different subreddit so it wouldn't get deleted.
Okay.
He sent it to me. He DM'd me and sent it to me. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I mean, we have actual proof that some medical organization is actually doing this
There it is, adrenochrome.
in big block letters.
CYM Caring Corp.
The whole thing, I believe the whole way this started was the person who originally posted this, their family member was sick. And then they were going through documents and found their name on the list of either donors or recipients.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly
So that's
sure.
what the first 15 pages are, is people like these.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was circled. Maybe that was on the original post. They had circled the name of their family member who was on that list. I mean, it's wild stuff. Again,
that's crazy. So please find enclosed our confidential new detainee and production reports as follows. Rep number 1, production of raw adrenochrome per detention center with average age of detainees. Rep number 2, list of detainees used for production, duration of custody, and scheduled disposal date. A valuable source of quality research. Note that SUIC only states suicide attempts. A finished suicide would appear in the disposal report. What?
Yeah, man. I mean, it just goes to show that everything that you hear about rich people and the elites, how insane, all those insane conspiracies that you hear about them are, largely they're true. I mean, it's wild stuff.
Yeah, the Q stuff, basically.
Yeah.
What the hell? Look at that. Per milligram, $1,920 per milligram. That's crazy expensive. So basically, what's adrenochrome? It's they take adrenaline from people that are scared, right? The adrenaline that's in their blood when they're in a fear state. They take that and they inject it into other people. Something like that.
And this ties into every time you see a celebrity with a black eye, that's supposedly the injection site.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh, that's the injection site.
Supposedly. Or there's a lot of theories going around the whole black eye. It's always the right eye. And they think, like, all the presidents have had black eyes, and they think
the Pope even.
Even the Pope, and they either think you're inducted to the quote unquote elites by getting punched getting beaten up.
Right. Yeah.
Or that's where they inject you.
Damn, man.
And it is weird though, because like I'm in my mid 30s. I haven't had a black eye since I was a kid. A lot of people in my family are older. I haven't seen any of them with a black eye.
Right.
And all these people who are elite and rich always end up with black eyes, and the response is like, oh, well, they're old. That's what happens when you get old. You get black eyes all the time. And every time I see that sentiment, I go, what the hell are you talking about? I've never seen an older person with a black eye.
That's a good point. So it's something weird's going on with these elite then.
Yeah, but it just goes to show that whatever is really going on, there is some truth here.
And that's always the case. Even with the crazy conspiracy theories, there's always an element of truth in there. You just have to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they don't come out of nowhere. It's just like stereotypes. I don't want to, use a stereotype. I'm just saying, like, they're not from nowhere. They come from
right. No, yeah, we generalize for a reason.
Right.
It's good for survival, first of all, but we generalize because we see patterns.
Not allowed to see patterns. That's bigotry.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions.
Trump's in the news again, obviously, because this crazy. I guess the debates next week.
Oh God, I can't wait to see that. I wonder which Biden they're going to put out there.
Yeah, I mean, the guy. It's embarrassing. He's getting really bad. So how is he going to survive that debate?
I'm assuming they're not going to use the actual Biden.
Else,
an elite or racist. Former President Donald Trump casually declared on Thursday that the CIA, quote unquote, was probably behind former President JFK's assassination after revealing he was asked not to release files related to JFK during his first term as president. Yeah, okay. First of all, I'm really upset that Trump didn't release anything because he had the opportunity to release this stuff
Oh yeah,
about the JFK assassination, and of course he didn't.
Nope. And now he's telling people that he will. He'll release 9/11. He won't do either. He's just saying that to get votes.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going. Yeah. Or he even talked about releasing UAP stuff, and he won't.
No, he won't. The problem is he listens to the intelligence community too much. Even though
I actually did do it. I released a lot, as you know.
Yeah.
I can't do a Trump impersonation. But when it came to the whole thing, I was hit by some people that worked for me who are great people that you would respect. They asked me not to do it. And I'm saying, why? Tell me why. And they said, sir, I think it needs a little more time. We definitely need more time about the JFK assassination. Like 5,000 years. Let's wait.
Yeah, they'll do it. 5,000 years will do it. I think we have to wait for the next civilization to reach a level of technology. And then once that happens, we can reveal it.
Definitely, 100%. He says he released a lot. But he respects people so much that he wouldn't release the rest of it. But this time he's going to do it, he says.
This time he will. This time will be different.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be done early on, he says. A lot of people, they're missing of here, or a lot of people want to see that. And whatever it may say, I won't say. I sort of have an idea, but whatever it is, it'll be very interesting for people to see, and we're going to have to learn from it.
There's one big reason it won't be released, and that's because of one country in the Middle East that doesn't want to see it released. I won't say who.
Yeah, just some ally.
Uh-huh.
And that's and the 9/11 documents also got they got hit. I think was it on Friday? A court said that the papers cannot be released. Because there's a lawsuit going on, and people are saying, well, the government's had over 20 years to investigate this stuff.
I do want to cover this last sentence here. Trump previously suggested that the father of Senator Ted Cruz was involved in the former president's murder.
I remember that because his dad's Cuban. I miss the old Trump, man. 2016, like the Trump we see now is not 2016 Trump. The guy has been completely broken.
Yeah,
completely.
Oh man.
Yeah, and there's a big chance he's going to go right in.
Yeah, I don't even know about the selection, man. Jeez, here we go. Here we go.
Lots of gaslighting here. Yeah,
we had a show a few months back called "Don't Trust Your Lying Eyes."
Yes,
and the White House apparently took this to heart. So all of those videos you've seen of Biden apparently lost, looking at the wrong thing, tripping upstairs. None of those are real, by the way. They're all deep fakes. Yeah, and this is not me, the conspiracy theorist, saying that. This is the fucking White House saying that.
Propagandist in chief is going to tell us that not to believe our lying eyes. She is. All she does is lie all day. I'm surprised she's still here.
Well, she's still here because she lies. She's willing to. Yeah, she gets off on that. I'm sure. I can't hear anything.
Okay, so something's up. Then I might have to. Here, let me do this because I did get a message. Let's remove this. Stops.
Give love a chance, says the alien in my little picture.
Let's try this again.
There we go.
Desperate.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, start it over though.
Yeah, right, perfect.
It tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here, and instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country. We're seeing.
Yeah, don't you notice the hyperinflation we have going? And
I'm told
of illegal aliens coming in.
I'm told that the economy is great, therefore it is.
Yeah, so
I can't afford to buy.
What is wrong with us?
I can't buy a sandwich or gas, but if the government says the economy is doing well, then it must be.
These people are so detached from reality.
Wait, play the rest of it though.
Seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos, and it is again done.
Sure, lady.
Faith.
Unfucking real.
It tells you everything about these manipulated fakes, these deep fakes, these manipulated videos.
Oh my god, it's a liar! Manipulated videos. They're literally like off mainstream media too. It's,
I'm tired, man. I'm so tired. I can't deal with this shit anymore. I mean,
well,
I truly wonder about people who believe that our government does right. I don't understand people who will listen to what the media tells them. I just don't know what to do anymore.
have you haven't watched Succession, right?
No,
I mean,
but
they
like,
talk about the old media too, and that was in 2017, so it's been dying for a while, but people still watch it.
I just, I don't know. I don't get this world anymore, and I understand why people become those old, bitter,
Yeah.
lonely people. I get it because I'm becoming one of them.
Well, it's just an empire of lies. I mean, unfortunately, like everything is. Oh, did you hear Justin Timberlake got a DUI?
Yeah, hopefully I see him in rehab.
I don't think he lives in LA, does he?
Who knows? I don't care. I don't really care about Timberlake.
So
it sounds like he was out of sync with his car.
Nice one. Boom.
So I sent you this. Let's scroll up to the top, get the main headline. Tax filings reveal Biden cancer charity spent millions on salaries, zero on research.
Yeah, believe that guy. Believe him. He's very trustworthy.
The cancer.
That's exactly what his speech was.
A cancer charity started by Joe Biden gave out no money to research and spent most of its contributions on staff salaries, federal filings now show. It was founded in 2017, yada, yada, yada. But
he loves money laundering.
Embezzlement, right? Or it's money laundering.
Yeah, pretty much. Or it's a scam or a fraud. I mean, if you're saying that your organization is there primarily for cancer research, and then all you do is take the money and spend it on yourselves, then yeah, that's a scam. Dereliction of duty, maybe even if it goes against like the company foundings and mission.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think it. Well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of people in need, but people who have cancer are some of the strongest people on this planet. I mean, they fight day in, day out, and the fact that, God, I hope they didn't put their trust into this organization.
I mean, the charity took in $4.8 million in contributions in fiscal years 2017 and 2018 and spent $3 million on payroll in those 2 years. The group's president, Gregory Simon, raked in $429,000 in 2018.
How do you get a salary of nearly $500,000 and don't do anything? Oh,
isn't that nice?
Now I see. He was a former Pfizer executive. That makes so much sense.
That's why. So he's a criminal anyway. Wow.
He headed up the White House's cancer task force in Obama's administration. All of the pieces are coming together.
I saw his salary nearly double from the $224,000 he made in 2017. Look at that, guys. It's just government corruption. That's what these guys are there for.
The charity spent $60,000 on conferences and $60,000 on travel. I mean, good Lord, these people.
Good job. There he is. Biden Cancer Summit. He looks really young here.
Yeah, I was going to say this has to be from 2017. Grants distributed. It listed zero.
Hey, at least they're transparent about their corruption.
Simon had said, Mr. Pfizer had said the main point of the charity was not to give out grants and that the goal was to find ways to accelerate the treatment for all, regardless of their economic or cultural backgrounds.
And great. How are you going to do that?
Without spending any money. Yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Right.
Very, very interesting way to do things. Biden headed up the Cancer Moonshot Task Force when he was Veep. Oh, don't use a cutesy name for vice president. After his son Beau died of a brain tumor in 2015. Fun fact for those who don't know, Hunter Biden, who's been in the news, he swooped in and had sex with Beau's wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. Isn't what a great guy? Don't you think?
Great guy.
He took care of her. I'm sure she was really lonely. He was just taking care of her.
Taking real good care.
Yeah, really good. I wish I had like I wish I had no moral compass so I can do something like this. Starting.
No, you don't wish you had no moral compass.
I'm opening up a cancer research. You can donate as much as you want. Oh,
I'll have sex with your wife
and get paid for it.
Yeah, these people are scum of the earth.
God, you can't get worse than them.
Just pieces of absolute fucking garbage.
Yep, they only care about themselves. Extremely selfish. Talking more about government corruption. Mr. Jimmy Dore did a great one. He goes, "We've been lied to on a scale most people's brains can't comprehend. And since Chuck Schumer let the cat out of the bag and admitted the CIA doesn't work for the president and that the president should fear the intelligence community, it makes me wonder who exactly does the CIA work for and why would they be lying to us?" Huh?
Excuse me, what?
Okay. Amazingly, this will not be talked about on the front pages of national newspapers or even the topic of jokes for late night comedians. They lied about the origin of the virus, masks, herd immunity, natural immunity, early treatment, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, vaccine stopping transmission, vaccine stopping contraction, the fatality rate of infection, funding gain of function experiments that produced COVID, 6-foot social distancing, vaccine being safe and effective. So what's going on here is a whistleblower drops deeply disturbing report showing the CIA was paid to mislead the public on COVID. Surprise.
Yeah, I mean we've covered it on the show many times. What's his name? 4'2"
Fauci.
Yeah. Anyway, he paid all of his cronies and just continuously lied to the public, and they somehow did a really good job of telling people, "Hey, it's the science. The science changes. I am the science.
I am the science." I need a shirt that says "I am the science."
I mean, again,
when you criticize Fauci, you're criticizing the science.
Just purely evil, just pure evil, and it's so disheartening to see how many people just bought it and ate it.
$600 million his organization made from kickbacks from pharma.
Just on
$600 million. So much corruption.
Just unreal, unreal, and they got away with it. They got away with it.
Totally, utterly, and made. I mean, Pfizer alone made $100 billion in cash.
And no one, if you ask questions, you're a racist or something,
right? And you're an anti-government, whatever. I mean, I remember when Borla was being interviewed sometimes, he would be briefed by the FBI and the CIA, and they would tell him that who are the bad people, like Malone, Joe Rogan, like these people. So it was a war.
The war's over, and people who want to know the truth lost.
Yeah, and now, I mean, by the way, it was the Ukraine war that saved us from COVID. COVID was not going anywhere, and they would not let up. It was all about getting everyone vaccinated, and it was pretty bad. And once Ukraine happened, that's it. They pivoted and completely forgot about COVID.
All of it was so stupid. It just, your average person, like I've mentioned this person on this podcast before, but I work with someone who wears masks anytime she's in a group environment.
She still does.
Yeah, and I just go like, do you remember when restaurants opened and you had to wear a mask until you sat down at your table?
So stupid.
None of it made any sense. But these people, it's just a level of brainwashing that has never been seen before.
Just comply, slave. Don't ask questions.
But how can people live like that day to day? Well, what is CNN telling me? Well, that's how I'm going to live my day.
What's my governor telling me? Remember that? Like, they'll wake up and see what they're allowed to do. Like, can I leave my house? Can I have a funeral?
Screw your freedoms.
Yeah, screw your freedom.
How can people honestly live like that?
I don't know. It was a really dark part of human history. That's for sure. Really dark.
But I mean, like you and I, we've talked about like when the pandemic was first happening, we both, I mean, I won't speak for you, but me at least, I was like, oh shit, this is real. And then like,
oh yeah, I fell for it in December. Was it November or December 2019? The stuff coming out of China. Like, oh shit, it's coming.
it didn't take a long time to wake up before
Right.
you start realizing, like, oh wow, this is complete horseshit.
Yeah, I know. By mid-January, I knew it was bullshit.
But for so many people, they're still living with that fear.
It was damaging. Yeah, people are still damaged by that. Even they'll be in their cars by themselves wearing masks.
But God, and not to bring it back into politics, even though we're about to talk about politics right now, but Trump, he launched Operation Warp Speed, which was to get the vaccine ready, get it going. And remember, all these Democrats were saying, "Don't take it. You can't take it. It's evil. Trump's doing it." And then what was it? The second after Biden got elected, it was, "Oh my God, you got to take this." And how do people not look at that and go, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking seen"?
It was the exact same program. They didn't change anything. It was just Biden instead of Trump. That's it. Yeah.
And like, I remember Pelosi going down, hanging out in Chinatown and talking about, "Oh, it's so cool to hang out in Chinatown. You don't need masks. You don't need anything. Look how cool this is." And then, oh wait, Democrats are in charge. "Oh, you got to wear your mask. Here's some ice
double
cream."
masks, triple masks.
So stupid, man. It's just beyond. I lost a lot of respect for many people when that happened.
Me too. Especially the ones that didn't. At least, I mean, there are ones that caught on late and apologized. Like Brett Weinstein. But the ones that don't or didn't and are still saying that it's safe and effective, and it's probably gonna get the show pulled if we keep talking about it.
Who cares? Fuck YouTube. Fuck Google. Fuck all of you mainstream government dick suckers.
Demons.
You're the worst. You let this shit happen. This is your fault.
And covered it up and censored.
Yeah.
Kicked people off social media platforms. It was bad.
Yeah. Fuck them. Anyway, let's talk about people that we can also say to fuck them. Russia and North Korea signed a mutual defense pact.
Of course. That's not good. Good for them, maybe. Not good for us.
I'm wondering what Russia got from this, because as far as I know, North Korea, what do they have? I mean,
they do make their own arms. So they do say that they're supplying Russia with arms, especially for what's going on in Ukraine. The inclusion of a mutual defense clause in their comprehensive strategic partnership, which Kim described as an alliance, will add to the West's alarm over growing economic and military ties between North Korea and Russia. I mean, if they're getting tied into the Russian economy, it might help them out economically.
Yeah, I mean, all of the things I know about North Korea is, well, it's propaganda, obviously, but they are essentially shut off from the rest of the world.
U.S. intelligence officials believe Putin is providing North Korea with nuclear submarine and ballistic missile technology in exchange for arms for his war in Ukraine.
Let's go. I have my nuclear war survival skills book on my bookshelf right now.
You're going to need it. You're going to need it.
It's actually super interesting. I should show you that book.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. It shows you how to defend your house properly. It doesn't matter. It's a whole thing. What is this?
They were in the car together, driving fast. Oh yeah, they're arguing. They're arguing who goes in first. Yeah, you're right. Oh no, was it here? Oh no, so Putin is driving. He's driving Kim.
Oh, that's so cute.
What kind of car is this?
Birds out for a spin.
Oh, Rolls. Is that a Rolls?
Very nice car.
Very nice car. Yeah, Rolls Royce. Oh God! Look how cool we are.
Oh God!
He presented a limousine to Kim as a gift.
It was a gift. He's driving all over the road. He's clearly drunk.
He's not even in his lane. Maybe he's just being Putin.
Yeah.
Nice propaganda, guys. Nice propaganda.
Well, again, the apocalypse, World War III is upon us every day, every week, every month.
They're both tiny.
Yeah, I'm actually
he got fat again.
Wait, again, he was always fat.
He lost weight though during COVID.
That's a shocker.
Yeah,
I didn't realize Putin was that small.
Me neither.
Because he's like a black belt or something, right?
Judo. Yeah, he's a judo black belt.
Interesting.
He walks funny.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, this is just all World War III thing. I mean, this is what's happening. You have China getting close to Russia, and now North Korea's getting close to Russia. Obviously, Iran is now. What's next here? Did you see this? Hezbollah sent over a drone.
I don't think
over Israel, dude, and they're basically scaring them, saying these are the sites that we're going to target if you invade Lebanon. Right. See, look at that. It's showing Iron Dome, rocket engine stores.
Wow, I didn't see this.
Yeah, it'll show the drone now going. I don't know how they got in there, but I know that they destroyed a lot of Iron Dome areas.
I was gonna say the Iron Dome is pretty state of the art. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm
very state of the art because they're taking them out. So wait, where's the drone footage? There it is. Look at they're over Haifa.
Wowzers!
I mean, I don't think they want to fight Hezbollah. It's not a joke. If they can't finish off Hamas. But if this happens, we're going to be dragged in. They said it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
we'll build another dock. We'll build another dock that lasts 2 days.
Look at this footage. I mean,
wow. Yeah,
just having a drone in there.
The fact that they're broadcasting this is wild.
And beyond Haifa, deep water task unit building. They said that we don't need nukes because we know where you look at that.
Yeah. Wow.
We know where you store ammonia, and they'll just blow up those ammonia storage areas.
Do you think this is completely going off topic? Do you think Israel had anything to do with that? What was it? That building in
Beirut?
It was fireworks.
Yes.
Thing.
It was fireworks and ammonia. It was what is that called? Come on, you put it on plants and soil.
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer. Yes, they were. That's what they blew up. They knew fertilizer was there with the fireworks.
I mean, the videos of that were absolutely crazy. I mean, there was first person footage filmed from like balconies in skyscrapers, seeing the explosion, and like, oh man, I still remember that there was that one video. Whoever was swimming from their balcony, like the explosion, the shockwave came and knocked down their walls and stuff. I mean, that was wild.
It was such a crazy, and it looked like a nuke.
It did.
I think Veterans Today, they did a long article about it saying that was a mini nuke, proving that it was a mini nuke.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
So our last one we have it's a nice one. Wikipedia bans ADL propaganda. So ADL is not allowed to be on Wikipedia anymore as a source.
So Wikipedia, I have a lot of umbrages with Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll still never forget. I was looking up something about child abductions and like sex cult things, and the news story I had heard, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia, the article was super short and basically just said, "This is a hoax. This is a right-wing conspiracy." I go, okay, right, sure.
They do that with so many things. I mean, it does have a lot of good information, but it's a mouthpiece for the government.
Yeah.
So $2 billion federal government budget request. $2 billion. The ADL, our government funds them $2 billion so they can take away our freedom of speech. Killing the Constitution, ADL.
Just unreal, these people.
Look at all these laws. Killing the Constitution through false equivalency. You know, they have a university report card system. So now people in university can't talk about Israel.
Who watches The Watchmen?
Established in 1913 to protect. Yeah. I hate the ADL. Ban the ADL. They're going to come after us.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. I'm amazed we're not shut down now.
So that's it for today.
Man, and we didn't even have anything funny to post either.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot.
I skipped my duties.
No, that's fine. I didn't really find anything either. Yeah. That would have been fun.
There's just not to laugh about. There's not anything to laugh about these days.
Not anymore. They killed comedy.
They killed. Oh, man, did they ever.
Yeah, I mean, people are not allowed to say anything anymore. Some of these guys are making a ton of money, these Netflix comedians. Oh, I watched Civil War last night.
You know, don't spoil anything because I think I'm going to watch that tonight. It's
okay,
finally, you can buy it for on Amazon, and I want
Right.
to watch it. Was it good?
Okay. I don't want to ruin it. Okay,
Just-
it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Okay.
terrible. How about that? How about that? It wasn't terrible.
Right, middle of the road. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It had some really cool concepts in there. But yeah, obviously it's going to lean somewhere that we don't agree
It's
with.
going to lean left. Let's be real.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is Hollywood after all.
Yeah. And the president who's sitting there now looks a lot like Donald Trump.
Yeah, shocker.
I know. Yeah. So, but it's I mean, it's not bad. It
All
did
right.
well in the movie theater, right?
Well, I don't know. I just like that there's movies that aren't a remake or a reboot or a sequel
Right.
to something, even though, God, it's such a sad state of affairs. But Hollywood did it to itself. They go,
Yeah.
oh, these new concept movies don't do any good. And go, well, because you make them shitty.
Exactly.
No wonder
And-
no one wants to go see your crap anymore.
And you see
Make
the
good
Disney
movies
guy?
and people will go watch them.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. It's no one else's fault. But they're probably blaming the people. 100%.
Oh
they're
my
blaming the
God!
people.
Yeah, I was just about to get into a rant about that. There's a new. I don't watch Star Wars anymore. I haven't watched it for quite some time. But there's a new Star Wars show on Disney, and
I saw
before
that.
it even came out, I was seeing articles saying, "If you don't like this, you're sexist, you're racist, or whatever."
You're kidding me.
And of course, the show is terrible. I haven't watched
It
it.
is.
I haven't watched it at all, but
I
heard
haven't
it.
either, but I saw a review on it, and man, they ripped it to shreds. Just
Yeah,
completely made
even
fun
like
of it.
Rolling Stone, who gets paid to give good reviews, said it was bad, and they go, "Oh no, that's sexist, racist, bigotry. People who criticize this are bigots." And it's just like, how do you not see the like? This is a question of Hollywood. Like, how do you not see that you're the problem?
I mean, you just see the Disney executive that got caught.
Yeah. If he was a straight white guy, we wouldn't hire him. He said that.
Exactly. Yes, that one.
Yeah, I did see that. I just
Unbelievable.
Man, whatever happened to hiring people based on their talent or their skill? We went
Commies are in
from
charge, man. They hate them. They hate meritocracies because it
It's-
creates a great civilization.
it's such a, and this is going to get us labeled as an alt-right Nazi podcast, but didn't Martin Luther King Jr. say, I want to be judged based on the content of my character and not the color
Yep.
of my skin?
That's how it should be.
And
That's how it should be.
I don't know what happened, but here we are.
Here we are.
Again.
with
I've had friends of all races, friends of all faiths, and I don't care about any of that. I care about people I like.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't look at a person and go, oh, they're in column A, they're in column B, they're in column C. And I don't understand why Hollywood and even big companies in general refuse to do that. They want to check a box. They want to.
It's a facade. Yeah, exactly. They want to check a box because then it allows them to get away with immoral acts or corruption or whatever, because they can say, well, look, we got a great grade on our DEI. We're diverse, we're inclusive, we have equity, and we're inclusive. And it's the same way like with doing war. Oh, we'll put a black person in charge of the Department of Defense, and we'll still do the wars. But see, look, we're inclusive.
It's just, again, this goes back to my morose ramblings earlier. I mean, I'm just so tired that people don't see this thing for what it is, and it's shit. It's absolute garbage. Our government, our media. I don't understand how people can look at what's happening and they just go, "Oh, that's okay. They told me it's okay."
They told me it's okay, right?
I don't get it. I really don't.
I mean, a lot more people are waking up. I'm seeing it, but it's too late. I think it's like we're at the end. The system can't continue.
Well, here we
Or
are,
can
man. I've got to talk about this stuff on a podcast where I can't reveal my real name. I can't bring these opinions up to work. I'll get fired, and that's the problem. What have I said that's so inflammatory? What's so bigoted that I've said? But
Rocking the boat.
What if I voice these opinions in my job, in my day to day with my friends? I'll get the holy shit. We can't talk to that guy. Look,
Right.
It's such a it's such a problem. I hate it.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, the Federalist Papers were written anonymously back then when the founding fathers were trying to push the Constitution and educate people on the Constitution. So even them, they were afraid to be outed. So unfortunately, society is just like that.
You mean those racists?
Yes, those slave owners.
Unreal.
White supremacists.
Unreal, man.
So we just have to keep, I mean, shows like ours, it just helps get the information out there, and something that doesn't have an agenda, but the agenda is just to get the truth out there.
That's right. The agenda is to get the truth out there on this episode of the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Yes, hairy aliens.
Hairy aliens.
What? I'm thinking of a better title, but something like that.
You got a hair tie?
You got a hair tie.
I want a mohawk. I got too much hair. Also, got a light.
Got a light. Oh, those guys are so freaky.
Yeah, love love that show.
Yeah, season 3 is the best, right? Because
season 3 is the best. I almost wish I had watched that on my own, that first, but because watching it last as it's supposed to be watched is you're left with so many questions. But what I'm trying to say is I wanted to torture myself if I had watched that first.
Oh,
and been all these questions are going to be explained if I watch the first 2 seasons and then go back and be like, no, none of this makes any sense. Anyway, I have a need to know, Adam, where can we find us on social media?
Find us on x.com, formerly Twitter, at UAP the podcast. And we are also on all podcasting platforms. Mostly, our main platform is Spotify. You can watch videos, actually, not just the audio, but you can also listen to the audio. And then we're on Apple, YouTube, and all other major platforms. On video, please give us a like and a subscribe on our YouTube channel, Uncovering Anomalies Podcast. We're also on Rumble at UAP Podcast, BitChute, and Odyssey. Actually, Odyssey sent emails telling us to try to push people towards Odyssey more. They're a great platform. They are free speech absolutists. Everything is on there. They will never censor. I remember the feds tried to force them to do something and they wouldn't do it. So they found some loophole. But anyway, great guys over there. So follow us on Odyssey. I'm sure you'll find some other good stuff on there.
They don't censor. They must be racists.
Yes, well, they're called racists. Of course, they're called racists. They're called Nazis.
Oh, Jesus Christ! We've come full circle. Where if you want freedom, you're a Nazi, which makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying that people that want free speech are the fascists. Please make that make sense.
Doesn't. Oh God, I'm just. This episode has put me in a really downer mood, man.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's
because we don't have comedy.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, you know what? People, go out there, say hi to your neighbor. If someone asks you for a favor, go ahead, grant the favor. Don't expect anything in return.
Yeah. Life is short.
There's a really good rule to live by that I heard somewhat recently. Give 60% and expect 40%, which basically means go more than halfway to help someone else and only expect someone to not go halfway. Yeah. I know that sounds kind of a downer too, but I like the sentiment.
Yeah, and life is short. We're here for a limited time. It really it's so much. I mean, it's a much better use of your time when you actually give and try to help other people, because you never know. One day you're gonna need help, and I'm not saying to expect it from those specific people, but it'll come back to you when you're needed, when it's needed. So give as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Especially to supporting this channel.
Well, just, ignore the begging at the end there, but that is, I have a need to know, Adam. And I am King Topher, and I've got one question for you all out there. Got a light?
See you all next week.
Oh, tell a friend about the show.
Oh. Who?
a friend. Just tell a friend.
Oh yes, tell a friend about the show.
Grab your
please.
friend, scream it in his face, say, King Topher wants me to ask you if you have a light and if you've listened to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Got a light.
Got a light.